Welcome back to my Creative Chronic Life, and today I am back with my budget series. I'm not quite sure which episode it is. I think it should be 4, but then we are on week 2. So I shared week 1 where I set up everything, and then this is going to be week 2 where we catch up, and then we talk about setting up the next week. I think I prefer to do them this way because if I do them at the end of the week, then it's just going to be like a really long video, whereas this is going to be quite quick and quite compact. So we're going to start off. I haven't obviously started this section yet because it starts in January, so we'll come to that at a later date. And then I have filled in a couple of things here, but again I've not color coordinated anything because we are just only on the first week. I'm just going to check the date we're currently on. Actually, we're only on the 3rd of December, so I am going to sit down maybe next week on the weekend, and I will start to fill in payment days. You know, I filled in like paydays, that type of thing, but fill in what direct debits I've got coming out, any standing orders, anything that I pay by physical check, that type of thing. And then here we've got this little space here where I'm going to just do like an almost key type of key thing, or I was thinking maybe I could make a key and put it here, and then we can take the key out so we remember. I know that might seem like a little bit of a faff, but at the same time I think that's going to be the best way, and it's going to keep me on track as such. So that's something that I need to come up with too, so I'll probably just do that a lot off camera. And then this is the current week that we were in last week. Now, as you can see, I haven't quite finished, and the only reason for that is I have a lot of pending payments, and with those pending payments I don't know particularly what day I've spent something on. So we're just going to run through with a few bits and pieces of where we are currently, and then I may have to come back in the following week, or maybe do like a quick mini video where I share this kind of information. So this is where we are currently at. I decided that I would use this section on the left hand side to just mark down specifics about payment, as of course as much as I can get in this section here. So we did P for a PayPal payment. No, it wasn't, it was P for payment, so I got paid. So like I mentioned, this is going to be mine and my husband's kind of budget planning section, mainly because like we have a joint account, so we spend together. So it seems silly me just doing some things because we kind of like do them together. So like he did some shopping, and I want to mark that in there because together I used to do my own savings, he has his own savings, he's got his own card, so have I. But I want this year to be a year where we really get our finances sorted. I get a good saving system, and I'm able to save for IVF or like treatment towards it, help towards it, that type of thing, testing, all of that. Okay, so I came up with the system. I think we'll use my little pretty bookmark. So here, P is for payment, and then I wrote, I did a PayPal payment, sticker book, and it was on Facebook. So hopefully, because that's on the 25th, when you come here, it should just say 25th PayPal, and then it should say the amount, which was £8. And then I've written shop. So picked up some chicken and naan and veggies, and then that should say the 25th, a shop, and that's £11.37. Okay, the total amount here for me to look at a glance, then it should be a total of £19.37. So then when I go in at the end of the week to be able to tally outgoings and ingoings, it should be here. Now, I did ask my husband, like I mentioned in the previous message, would you like me to be able to share extra specifics? And he says no, because I don't mind if you do the total tallying. He goes, but could you keep like entire incomes and other things personal? So I said okay, fine. I said, how would that work out for me to be able to share? And so basically we've come up with a conclusion is that if I want to share mine, of course I can, and I can mark his down, but when I come to share, if like I do a flip through or something like that, I'm gonna just cover the area with a little bit of a sticky note and keep that private. He doesn't mind like the running parts, he just says he just doesn't want to know, you know, the other bits and pieces. Then of course that's something that we are going to respect. And again, like, you know, he knows I do social media, he knows I share, you know, on YouTube, and he knows I'm doing this budget tracker, but at the same time he wants to keep some things personal, and I respect that. That's fine. So this is kind of what we're doing at the moment. Okay, so we've done P for payments here, and then we've got CC, which is click and collect. S is for the shop. I didn't put it in the first one because I thought about the idea after. And then we've got BP, which is a bank payment, and then we've got takeaway, which is TW, and then we've got BF, which is Black Friday sales. Now this is where my biggest problem came, because I thought I'm going to start this entire budget section from this week. I completely bypassed Black Friday. Now I usually don't pick up anything on Black Friday. I mean, I barely would be even interested. I really try to stay away. This year I fell down the rabbit hole, mainly because I want to support some shops, and I know that things can be difficult, but B, I'm no longer doing memory planning, so my need for Hobonichi kits, like, so of course I use this journal kit, which is fine, and then we of course have got like a monthly section, which I know the shops I'm getting them from, which is DesigningLiefdedgtl, and I know I need to stock up. So I thought, well, hang on a minute, why not just sorry about that, I had a phone call, so I'm not sure which part I was on. Yeah, I was saying I decided that I wanted to pick up some Hobonichi kits and some kits for the new year, because I am in a completely different planner setup for 2025. So that was the first thing. The second thing was that I wanted to support some shops, of course, because I know how much things have been difficult, and also I have been pretty much on a no spend ban this entire year. I've only picked up things that I've literally needed, example planners, and I picked them up in D-stashes. I've really not bought anything outsourced, and if I have, it's been on a reduced price, things like that. So I thought, you know what, okay, let's take advantage and you know, also support at the same time. And what ended up happening is and was, I'm going to say I fell down the rabbit hole, because of course I did, but at the same time I didn't, because I'm supporting shops. But then what I've bought is everything that I actually need. So I haven't purchased things just because, oh, I'm not going to use them. And of course I know like some things I can be used without, and that's something that I'm really going to work on in 2025. So, you know, this justification that I'm giving myself, well, I needed this and I needed that. I'm going to have to really deeply think about this moving forward. I'm just going to get my planner when I've pretty much... This is my current planner. You can see my cat has kindly messed up the edge, which is fine. I picked this planner up in a D-stash, and it's from Rosy Life Planner, and it's super pretty. And I did the tabs myself, and I decorated everything, and it's been really fun. I mean, this is my current setup. It's like a Hobonichi Techo cousin, but it's on white paper, and it's really nice and good quality. The pages are blank. I'll just show you. So this is what the pages look like, whereas the Hobonichi, they have like the writing across, like the timestamp, and then you've got this section here. It still has the dailies, and this is what the dailies look like. So very similar to the Hobonichi. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open up where I've written the expenditure, so maybe we can just have a little chat about that. So I will talk about the current spending so far. So we've done the PayPal. We then did an Argos payment, which I paid for last week, but I just wanted to mark down that I collected it. And then we had a issue with the car battery, so that's gonna go into my husband's section, because that's something that he technically he paid for, but I'm still gonna track it as an entire list. And then we have a shop when we just picked up some things. Poundland, bicycle light, super glue, A batteries, and then I've written here CC collected car parts. And then again, local mini shop, picked some biscuits up and some snacks, and that was my husband again, because I really want to mark down like A, what I'm spending, but also B, what he's spending, because I seem to feel like when he's out and about the most, he's the one who'll nip into a shop here and there and pick things up. So I want him to kind of slow down on his spending too. And then I had a bank payment charge. I'm not sure why that was, but I put it down anyway. And then this was a very random day. We nipped out, I cannot remember now what it was for, something or the other, and ended up at McDonald's. I recall. So I had to do something for a friend, and on that particular evening my husband made noodles, and it was noodles with chicken that I made, but at the same time the noodles were so spicy. My goodness me, I've never had anything so spicy. I'm currently obviously got a problem, an autoimmune condition with my mouth, which is called lichen planus, so spice and things are a no-go for me. So the chicken I made was quite bland, nothing out of the ordinary, but the noodles were so spicy, even he was finding it hot. So that evening my friend asked me at the last minute for some help, so I said, you know, I can't eat anymore anyway, let's go do this and then we'll get back in and have something else to eat, some toast or something. So fast forward, we've nipped out, and then because my mouth was still burning, and I was like, oh, my mouth is still burning, let's just go grab a milkshake. They didn't have a milkshake, so we ended up thought we'll have ice cream. And then I have a McDonald's app, so I nipped onto the app and had some points to use. So I thought, oh, you know what, I'm still hungry, might as well just have some chips or something. Turned out that then my husband was still hungry, so we ended up having like a McDonald's meals. We used some points, picked up some ice cream, so I used the points and the total came to £8.58. That was a very long-winded story, but it didn't need to be, but yeah. And then written here we've got paid monthly pay, and then I made a payment for clear pay for £65.97, and that's a purchase that I made, I don't know, a month before, something like that. So obviously you can pay every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something. And then my husband needed to go somewhere, so he bought some sweets to gift to somebody, like a chocolate box thing. And then I wrote Black Friday sales. So the total I spent was £184.74. That's what I put down. And then I did like a mini shop. When you pay, I like to do and pay by like Clearpay and Clena, only because it's a bad habit I've gotten into. So that's what I did this time, but moving forward from once I've cleared this off, I'm not gonna use these apps anymore. I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and delete them. So what I did was here, I've totaled everything up, and then the shops I purchased from were DesigningLiefdedgtl and then DesigningLiefdedgtl, and then I did Littlebloompaperie, Hobonichi Designs and Josephinebowdesigns. They are the shops that I purchased from. I decided that I wanted to pick up these stickers for the new year. I bought, obviously, from DesigningLiefdedgtl and the digital, I picked up my monthly kits for both my Hobonichis and some generic kits as well. Littlebloompaperie was the 2 for 2 Tuesdays, along with the Black Friday sales, which was a real bargain, 40% off. And then along with that you get like tiered freebies, but if you spend over a certain amount, which I did, I think it's £75, you get a £20 freebie and then a £35, and it ends up becoming, you get like almost like a whole journal kit plus a mini notebook. So that was a nice treat, and I honestly didn't even know that there were going to be tiered freebies. I didn't notice till after I placed the order, so that was a lovely surprise. But regardless, it was £40 off, but 2 for £2, and honestly a real bargain. I always love picking up my scripts, my little mini bob icons, my icons, and my journal kits that I like to use for, like, I'll be using for the Hobonichi, because you've got the deco scenes, you've got the weekday headers, and then things like that. I really enjoy the functional side of it. Beautiful. So I picked that up. DesigningLiefdedgtl had 30% off, and DesigningLiefdedgtl had 50% off. So technically what I paid, I literally got half price. And then Handwrite Designs also had a 25% sale on, so I picked up a beautiful gorgeous green kit, and it's in that new washi paper now. So I picked that up, and that was a payment for £12 and 1p for the first payment. And then Josephinebowdesigns, I picked up my one-page Hobonichis. I picked up some tabs. I also picked up some Hobonichi kits, because again, this is going to be my first year in a Hobonichi. I will be doing a planner lineup, but I'm just waiting for my Christmas advents to arrive. We've had some issues with Royal Mail Post, nothing to do with the shops themselves, so they should be arriving, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, today, but it wasn't. I waited pretty much all day yesterday to film the advents, because I wanted to keep memory, which is why this isn't posted on a Monday. I do aim to post every single Monday, but if it's a day or so late, it's fine. But I'm waiting for the advents to come. So yeah, so here we are currently at where we are. I obviously hubby did a shop Saturday, and then maybe Sunday, so I need to like fill in things, but they're still pending. So what I will do is I will come back next week and showcase this week in its entirety. But of course, like, I can do total outgoings and total left, but the incoming part, my husband says that he doesn't want to show that, which is fine. So we'll just kind of go through the practice of doing it. Now, when it concerns savings, we will talk about that in a moment. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and set up this next week page, because I love how it looks. Like, I think it's brilliant for me for right now. I think in hindsight, I don't think I need to have as much space here, but I think I'm going to repeat the process, and same with the savings here, only because I'm going to do an entire savings section at the back. So I really want to maybe lower everything down and remember to put an extra day in for Sunday. So we're just going to get my stencils, and these are the current stencils. I shared them last week. I do have loads more, but this is what's going to do me for right now. I don't think I'm going to change anything except no, I don't think I'm going to change anything at all. I did maybe want to just use a box, but then again, we'll see how we get on anyway. Okay. So yeah, I was explaining about all of that. I'm just checking my notes. So I've shared about currently where we are here, and now we are going to go ahead and get our pencil case and take everything out. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I am back now. So we're just going to start from the 2nd to the 8th, and I'm pretty much going to do the same as what I did last week, remembering to do like a little section here. Is that all the way down? It was. Okay. So I've been thinking about of what I'd like to do in terms of spending, in meaning how I'm going to really think about tracking. Oh, that would be great if I would just use this. Basically, this is, you know, when you get like sticker sheets and you're left over with like the leftover sticker parts. So I peel it off, and because some of them are like really great quality, I then can use them to add stickers on if I'm like planning ahead, for example. But I have an extra spare one, and I'm just going to place that behind as like a little bit of a barrier so it doesn't leak down, like the lines don't press down onto the other side. Okay, and then we have a little section here for a no spend. So as I was saying, that I really want to concentrate and really think about my spending for 2025, because Black Friday pretty much showed me that, not that I have a problem, but like the way I think is a little bit different, and I really need to reevaluate the entirety of it. So I said I'm going to leave these a little bit longer, so I think I want to mark down here. Let's go with that, just because bills this week are going to be really crazy, and I want to be able to have a really good space to mark that down. So yeah, I really want to be able to make sure that I be in control of spending, and I don't want to put myself in a position where tomorrow I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and all of that stuff, and then I'm back to square one again. I really want to make it so that I am in control, so I'm allowed to have savings and expenditure for like stickers, that type of thing, but at the same time I've placed all these orders for 2025. I don't think there's anything in there that I'm not going to use or won't be using in the next couple of months, but what it does mean is I'm going to have to really think about what I want my spending to look like for 2025 in terms of stickers. I've got more than one hobby. Like, I love to knit, I love to sew, but like sewing is 50-50 because it takes a lot of energy out of me depending on how I'm feeling. Knitting is something I do few and far between, but at the same time I still have these hobbies, but I have enough of all of that. Stickers are where I fall down the rabbit hole. Stickers are also where I need, because I don't need, I would like, should I use the word I would like to have and be nice and pretty in my notebooks and planners. So I need to come up with a budget that I can keep for my stickers, so that then I don't go over that budget. No matter how nice something is, I don't go over my budget. So that's something that I would really like to think about. So we've got savings, incomings, outgoings, and then pay. So if we just mark that down the middle, let's just go there. I'm really thinking about creating some stickers that would just do this for me, because I can just use plain like coloured sticker paper and then just cut them out, but then at the same time I'm thinking it's just a couple of lines, it's not the end of the world, is it? And then we have our amount down this side. So yes, a budget for sure, and then also I would like to have other budgets. Now my channel's not going to be where like cash stuffing, that type of thing, because physically I don't deal with money. Like my husband is the one that usually cashes out the money and all the other things like that. I just like to pay by card, online shopping I'm going to call it. Now I do have a separate account where I only just put in online, well I only just like put online shopping. So if I'm going to spend, let's say I'm going to spend, I don't know, Josephinebowdesigns or Littlebloompaperie, whatever that is, if I'm going to spend there, I'll go total my order, choose what I want, I then go back into my bank, place money from my savings to my bank, and then I'll make the purchase. I won't do it, like I won't just keep the money in there. I've had too many instances where fraud has been an issue, or somebody's tried to overtake. Was it this one that I used last week? Why does that feel really small? Let me just check the other ones. Was it this one? Or was it this one? Really odd. I'm not sure which one it was. We will just go. Nope. Should we go for this one? Yeah, let's go for this top one here. So I always like to be a bit extra careful. So I want to be able to have a budget for my stickers, also have a budget for any other hobbies. And then if I have a budget, I must stick to it. If I don't spend that month, I can always like move it forward so that I then can have like a bulk money. So that's up to me to decide. But I don't know if I want to do that physically with cash or put that in my bank account, because I'm trying to really not want to spend online anymore, because it really kind of stresses me out. Let's go there. Let's do this so I can concentrate, so I'm not gonna make a mess out of it. Slowly lift. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done it again, haven't I? I've just left this. I must be doing something wrong with where my spacing. Oh, how have I just done that? Can you see that mark right there? Oh no! Is it still wet? Have I used the wrong pen? This is why I prefer to use stickers. I have no idea how I've just gone ahead and done that. And the biggest problem is I should have used this pen because it was erasable. I'm really annoyed at myself now because I don't have white out. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna make it worse. Oh. I'm not sure if I made that worse or better. Anyway, let's just go back to the task at hand. Could I fit 2? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have done it again for some reason, and I'm not sure why I'm doing it this way. You know what? Okay, we are just gonna go with that. I'm gonna have to really think about a different solution next week, because I don't like how this feels to me right now. I've got some of these stickers. So this is what I have in terms of my leftovers. We're really gonna try and fix this right here, right now. Down. Put that there. They're just teeny tiny bit bigger. Okay, I like that a lot. Maybe I should have just done that above there too, just to kind of cover that entire mess up that I've just made. Maybe add this little thing here. Okay, I know that's not equal in its entirety because these parts are not equal, but I don't think it matters. I've done it now. Hey ho, this is where we're at. Okay, that's going to teach me next week to figure out a different solution. So for right now, we're going to go back in with the pen that smudges, because this is, no wonder, this is it's my Deli Linfini pen. It's very similar to my other pen that I have, my Zebra Sarasa Dry. Let's go with this one. And then 0.5. So we're going to go no spend. Oh, when I write spend here, because I'm calculating the expenditure, and if I don't do spend, then I can just track it there. Yeah, let's just go with spend. Oh, we're gonna go back in with the Sarasa Dry, and I think this week we will go for purple. I've also ordered some of these little MTW because I think it's just going to look super cute. This is our expenditure. And then we've got obviously incoming, outgoings. Could I write over the top? Should I try? Because if it doesn't, I can always go back over it after. Maybe we could do savings and then savings challenge underneath. Okay. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. I think the more I think about it, the worse it's going to get. So we're just going to leave it as is. We're just going to leave it as is. So we've got, again, running expenses, savings, income, and then we've got outgoings here, and then we'll also have our savings challenge. Next week I'm definitely going to use stickers. There's no way that I can continue messing this up. This is just going to keep hurting my heart. I don't like to mess things up. So this is where we're currently at. Okay, and then we are looking at we will do, because we're going with P will always stay the same. Okay, it's the box. Okay, I think that's everything for this week. I'm just going to open up my calendar and have a look. See if we've got anything coming this week. So usually first, second, third bills, so I can fill that out. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait another day or so because we had the first one on a Sunday, so sometimes things take time to come through. I do know that I placed another order yesterday with Littlebloompaperie because I decided I needed more things. That's something that I'm going to place in, and I also picked up a Kindle Paperwhite in a D-starch, which I've been after for a long time, and it's, you know, very much cheaper than buying a brand new one, and there's nothing wrong with it except the fact that the lady just wanted to upgrade. So I also have bloods this week. I'll put that in the actual diary. I'm not sure if this week I will be going to do like a mini shop. We did a mini shop on the weekend, but it was like basic necessities like milk, bread, cheese, fruit, vegetables, that type of thing. I have cooked for the majority of the week, and then we've got plans for the end of the week, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go this week or not. But yeah, there's a few bits and pieces which I'm going to change, but we will fill that in. I'll fill it in throughout the week, and maybe share like little clips of other social media accounts, or maybe I'll just do like a little short, something like that. And then we will come back next week and we'll talk about obviously the remainder of this week and savings, etc. And then we'll talk about this week. Usually the first week of the month will have to be pending payments, because just that's the way it is, and maybe come the new year, so this month and next month possibly. So I think at least for 2 months that's what it's going to look like, and then after that it should be fine. Pending payments we can always put in. So yeah, so I think that's where we currently stand today. I know it's not a lot to go on, but I think at the same time, as weeks go on, I think we'll just get a little bit better and better at doing this, because I'm new to this too, and I'm still trialing, and I'm still trying to decide if this is, you know, better for me, you know, how I should be doing it, how I shouldn't be doing it. So please just bear with me. If you do have any other ideas, do let me know. So this is all we've got time for today. If you are not subscribed to my social media accounts, you can follow me over on Facebook, TikTok, Threads app and Instagram at Mycreativechroniclife. And of course you can continue to show your support by clicking on the bell icon to receive notifications of upcoming videos. Of course, in the month of December I am currently posting for Colourmas, and which is where I share like a colour along with me in the month of December. It's not necessarily Christmas related, just generically I'm trying to colour through my books, and it's been fun to be able to do that 5 minutes, 20 minutes or however much it is. And then also I'm posting my advents. I may not have an advent every single day, because like I said, I'm still waiting on the post for a couple of my advents to arrive. They should be here tomorrow, day after, so you'll probably see an advent every single day depending on who I'm sharing particularly. And then we will do our weekly catch up with our budget planner. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to combine the savings one into the same video, or I'd like to do that separately, only because if I continue to do one where I'm chatting and talking about thoughts and feelings and like progressing in a way, then maybe that might be a longer video. But of course if I then share a savings one, it might be a little bit longer. So I think for this week, for now, I'm going to do them separately. So you'll probably just see this video maybe a day or two afterwards, after this one. And then I'll try to do them one at the beginning of the week, and then maybe one in the middle of the week, something like that. Because I also like, I'll be sharing my other Plan With Me's as well, and I just don't want it to be like overwhelmed. If we need to combine them in the future, then of course I can combine them, so that's not a problem. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.